Professor?
Today, we're going to talk about one of the greatest scientific minds on the planet. He's a world-renowned biochemist with 6 PhDs and a long list of academic accolades. However, this big blue scholar could also rip you to shreds in mere seconds. Of course, it's the Beast, Henry McCoy, that we're talking about. Since the list of Hank's achievements in the pages of Marvel Comics is far too long for a single video, today we're going to look at a very specific aspect of this feral X-Men character, his spectacular power set. This is an attempt to list out 12 of Hank's powers and abilities, and we're certain that you'll be surprised by at least some of these. But before we go ahead, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It might just be a small click for you, but for us, it means an awful lot. With that out of the way, let's dive in. Pheromone emission. It's easy to mistake Hank's mutation for a simple bestial transformation, which grants him animal-like abilities, though he started out as just a man with enlarged hands and feet, which granted him superhuman physical attributes. Hank was always the curious kind. This, combined with his scientific intellect, meant that the Beast was quite prone to experimenting on himself. His experiments were partly to blame for his wild appearance and vibrant blue fur. The genius scientist has also claimed that his mutations grant him the ability to release pheromones that basically make others around him like him better. We wish we had that back in high school. Anyway, Beast pheromones are still a power that very few writers have engaged with, though there are some mentions of them scattered through Marvel's lore. During one of their mini confrontations, Mephisto noted that it was pretty strange that, despite his frankly terrifying appearance, he had a strange knack for attracting people to him. This was when Beast first disclosed that it was due to the powerful pheromones emitted by his body that people, especially women, were so drawn to him. However, these pheromones have a downside too, though it's more mental than physical. Beast's self-hating, obsessively scientific character usually tends to assume that people aren't really attracted to him, and that all the affection he gets is due to the pheromones. This power has mostly been forgotten over the years, but it would be interesting to see how it could be reinterpreted in the current era of X-Men comics.
It's supersonic. Most advanced plane ever built.
Genius-level intellect. It's a well-known fact that Beast is a genius. However, fans often underestimate how frighteningly smart he truly is. And that's okay, since we are, after all, talking about a society with people like Tony Stark and Reed Richards in it. But this here is a reminder of what the Beast is truly capable of. The Beast is officially one of the 8 smartest people in the world, and has literally built everything from a copy of Cerebro to a time machine. It was also Hank McCoy who eventually found the cure for the nearly incurable legacy virus. He possesses extensive knowledge of a diverse range of scientific fields, and literally remembers everything due to his infallible eidetic memory. The man has genuinely done everything and can undoubtedly create an X-Men's Blackbird blindfolded. It's quite possible that his mutation has further augmented his mental capabilities, making it almost impossible for him to tire mentally. No wonder the X-Men consider Hank's boundless intellect to be one of their greatest resources. Expert hand-to-hand combatant. When he's not calmly listening to jazz and reading up on quantum physics in the seclusion of his lab, the Beast can be found beheading giant robots on the battlefield. There's quite a bit of contrast there, but trust us when we tell you that Hank McCoy is a true badass in every sense of the word. The Beast has held his own against everyone from the Juggernaut to Atuna, a super strong Atlantean. The Beast has undergone rigorous training under Captain America, one of the greatest fighters in the world. Under the Captain's tutelage, the Beast was able to develop his own style of fighting, which utilizes his great strength along with combat gymnastics. This form is quite similar to freestyle fighting methods used by Spider-Man. The Beast's enhanced dexterity also plays a major hand in his combat prowess, as Hank's feet are also equipped with opposable thumbs. But this isn't about dexterity. Beast's control over his appendages is so great that he can write with 2 hands, while simultaneously tying knots with his toes. Also, every once in a while, the Beast tends to lose control when enraged, and believe us, that's definitely not something you want to see. Enhanced senses. Because of his almost animal-like mutations, the Beast has also developed his senses to an extent that it's almost impossible for mere humans to imagine. His sensory perception is so acute that he can detect even slight changes in vibrations and electronic signals through solid walls and floors. On multiple occasions, the Beast has tracked his foes across miles with just the help of scent, and it is said that his sense of smell is almost 20 times more powerful than that of a human. On one particular occasion, when Colossus came back to life, Nick Fury made the Beast test the reincarnated X-Man, using his scent to make sure that the man in front of them was indeed the real Colossus. When a man like Nick Fury trusts your senses, it's certain they're pretty close to infallible. Hank is also completely unfazed by darkness due to his cat-like night vision, which makes the Beast a particularly nasty enemy at night. Some years ago, Beast assumed a more feline form, which enhanced his senses even further, though at the cost of his manual dexterity. Rapid healing factor. That caught you off guard, didn't it? When talking of healing factors, most people tend to overlook the Beast, but despite being one of his more understated qualities, Hank's healing factor is still quite formidable in its own right, especially in his early appearances back in the 70s, like Amazing Adventures number 11. The Beast was able to literally walk off gunshots like they were nothing. This is because of the Beast's enhanced metabolism, which regenerates cells at a rate much faster than normal humans. Though Hank is eventually stripped of his healing ability by the villain Quasimodo, the mutant can still heal broken bones and lacerations in a matter of days. In some of his newer appearances, the regeneration has increased to the point that Hank can heal mild to moderate injuries in just a few hours. This power does have its limitations though, as the Beast is incapable of healing destroyed organs and severed limbs. Still, it's a pretty good deal all in all.
I call it cerebro. Is in the Spanish for brain?
Yes.
Linguistic genius. In addition to his scientific prowess, the Beast is also a bona fide master of languages. The man is fluent in a wide range of languages like French, Latin, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, Arabic, Russian, and even Latvian. However, things get even more interesting when we step out of real-world languages. After encountering a member of the religious, all-female faction Black Swan, Yabat Umanturu, the Beast was able to learn some lost languages from the multiverse hopper. Some of these languages are as ancient as High Sumerian, which have been extinct for centuries. Being able to grasp such complicated language systems in a relatively short time is a clear testament to Hank's linguistic abilities. Advanced acrobatic maneuvers. The Beast is nothing if not hyperactive. In most of his appearances, the man genuinely prefers to bounce from location to location rather than walk. Owing to his superhuman agility, the Beast has an almost otherworldly sense of balance and body coordination that far surpasses the best of human gymnasts. Like many of his other powers, his agility has also undergone changes throughout his journey. While in his more ape-like prowess, the Beast basically possesses all the acrobatic skills of a great ape, and can walk on a tightrope as easily as most people walk on sidewalks. He can also walk for long periods on his hands, while performing any sequence of complicated stunts like flips, somersaults, and rolls. Even in his feline form, where his abilities are more cat-like, the agility remains unchanged. However, after his transformation, the Beast did take some time to get accustomed to his new physical characteristics. At this point, it's pretty safe to say that if the Beast participated in the Olympic gymnastics, he'd probably take all the medals.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. Your anger at the inexorable alienation of late 20th century life is...
Psychological warfare. One of the Beast's most underrated skills is his mastery of human psychology and his understanding of human emotions. As one of the most educated characters in the comic, the Beast has definitely read more than a few books about the human mind. The Beast often utilizes his knowledge in combat situations to outsmart and manipulate his foes to win battles. This skill is even more useful during negotiations with the enemy. However, in my opinion, this quality is even more evident in the Dark Beast, an alternate version of Hank from Earth 295. Owing to his villainous nature, the Dark Beast is even more adept at manipulation, and, at one point, spends months in the X-Mansion pretending to be Hank. If our blue genius had that kind of mean streak, most battles would be won way before they even began. Environmental adaptation. Hank McCoy's body is so finely attuned to the changes in his environment that even the most extreme of conditions barely affect his furry blue body. His mutations have provided him with a highly advanced immune system, which allows him to basically resist most common ailments. Even if he does manage to catch some sort of sickness, Hank usually recovers in a matter of hours. In addition to this, his body is also extremely resistant to the most common toxins and chemicals. Even Kraven the Hunter, one of the most prolific potion makers in all of Marvel, failed to create a tranquilizer that could take Hank down. In addition to this, Hank's regenerative abilities and blue fur also allow him to survive in the coldest climates. At one point, the Beast was frozen solid along with the Iceman, but somehow managed to survive with nothing but a minor case of the shivers. This one definitely comes in handy in those Arctic missions, I guess.
I was telling you about. This is Hank McCoy, one of our most talented young researchers.
How wonderful. Another music.
Scientific innovation. It has already been established that Hank is a savant when it comes to all things scientific, verdict. However, one thing we have overlooked so far is his ability to weaponize his inventions. His understanding of biochemistry and mutation allowed McCoy to isolate the hormonal compound that resulted in mutations. Using this serum, he can activate their latent mutant abilities for short periods of time, and even make the most brilliant of minds in the scientific community jealous of our big blue furball. When Hank drank the serum, it further enhanced his own abilities and even granted him his recognizable coat of fur. These enhancements clearly indicate how potent Hank's inventions could be in combat, but we can all take a sigh of relief that he's not as sinister as some other scientists we know. See what we did there?
Never look better, man. Hank?
Don't mock me.
Expert tactician. As one of the oldest members of the X-Men, Hank has undoubtedly had more than his fair share of combat. This constant exposure to battle, combined with his highly intellectual nature, essentially turns Beast into a kind of furry Sun Tzu. Hank is actually quite brilliant on the battlefield, both as a soldier and commander, as he can quickly analyze and adapt to even the most asymmetrical battle scenarios in a matter of moments. His proficiency as a tactician has been recognized by numerous superhero teams all across the Marvel Universe. Due to this, not only is he an integral part of the new Avengers team that rescued Nova on Mars, but he also led his own team of defenders at one point in the comics.
You sure you can fly this thing? Of course I can. I designed it.
Highly resilient mind. Hank McCoy is many things, but if we had to pick one thing that defines his character, it would have to be his single-minded dedication to establishing a long-lasting harmony between humans and mutants. His great compassion and determination grant Hank an almost near unbreakable spirit that is able to withstand even the worst of circumstances. His mental grit is so great that he often finds himself in unfavorable situations just for the betterment of others. This indomitable will is not just a personality quirk though, as it also makes him extremely resilient to mental manipulation and trickery. Even a telepath as high-level as Cassandra Nova was unable to penetrate his mind for a very long time. However, one fear that Hank does exhibit is that of devolving into a mindless animal, and given all he's been through over the years, that's quite understandable. Marvelous verdict. At the end of this long list, it's quite evident why Hank is one of the most illustrious members of the X-Men. Not only is he a heavy hitter in battle, but his scientific genius is genuinely one of the greatest assets for the X-Men. But despite all these powers and abilities, the reason most people find Hank so lovable is probably his rational, level-headed way of thinking and his compassionate demeanor, even in the face of his vilest foes. But yeah, if things get bad, he can always rip you limb from limb. Anyway, that's it for this list, and we hope you enjoyed it. Do let us know if we've missed out on any skill or power in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, as it enables us to keep bringing such marvelous content to your screen. Well then, see you all next time!